Hi, Nydia. Thank you so much for your post. I feel like it was very informative with children and education as a whole. I feel that low literacy in children is a very good point to bring about, especially in education. I feel that there are so many ways where literacy can be watered down through all systems of Boffin-Brenner's theory, as you mentioned. You focused on the microsystem of a child and their daily interactions with parents and teachers. I agree that a book or books starting at a younger age will help to provide building blocks for children to start interacting with their own minds in order to build upon the information that they've previously learned. Excuse me, a visual book that I would recommend for parents would be Rainbow Fish or The Very Hungry Caterpillar to be both visual and educational. I'd more so recommend the Rainbow Fish book for younger children, as the Rainbow Fish book has plenty of colors, textures, differences in pages, as well as some glitter and sparkles in there, which can help direct the focal point of an eye to the specific point in the book. I remember in class using reading levels of suggestion to find books that were best for me. I feel that having these suggested books was a very good way for me to kind of was that in comparison to my fellow classmates, especially because while some of my classmates were reading at a, let's say, like a second grade, they're reading at a second grade level, they're right on track. While there's other classmates that were still reading at a first grade or kindergarten level. This doesn't demean anybody or bring them down, but it does give them a generalization of where they should be versus where they are. Me personally, I was always reading at a grade higher than what was suggested. So I know we've all had our personal suggestions as well in school, where you would meet with a teacher and they would tell you whether or not you should be reading at a second grade level or above. I was always reading 1 to 2 to 3 grades above instead of what was suggested. At what point do we feel that a suggested should be moved upwards? So say a second grade reading level is a certain level. What if there's too many second graders learning at above the second grade level and there's still people that are learning below? What can we do to counteract that? In conjunction to that question, I feel that the suggested books were too easy for me. I know that this isn't the same for all people, but for those of the suggested readings were too easy, I was sometimes even prevented from reading above the suggested level in order to generally where my education was then stifled because I had to meet in the middle. What would you do as an educator to combat this problem? Thank you so much for sharing, and I appreciated your video. I hope you like my response.